What's up everyone? I'm Tim and this is my channel 40 Times Around, where we talk about everything related to motorcycles, camping, travel, and adventure. And today I'm going to talk about 5 lessons that I learned the hard way traveling on a motorcycle. And making mistakes when motorcycle traveling or just with adventure in general, it's actually a good thing because it means you're trying things that are new to you, you're getting out of your comfort zone, and you're just trying different things. So there's really no shame in making mistakes. Although I should say that you should absolutely take your safety very seriously, so don't make mistakes with that kind of stuff. Okay, so like I said, today we're going to talk about 5 lessons I learned the hard way on motorcycle travel, and I have definitely made my fair share of mistakes. And the first lesson I learned the hard way was not carrying the in case of emergency items. In other words, rain gear, first aid kit, things like that. Now it seems obvious, but if you've ever been on a long motorcycle trip on an overloaded bike, then at some point you're going to start looking for what you can mail home. And you're going to most likely be looking for things that you haven't used yet, especially if you're about a week into the trip or at least a couple days. On one of my first really long trips, this was the case. The bike was severely overloaded, and I started looking at what I hadn't used. And in the first several weeks of that trip, it didn't rain once. So I decided to send the rain gear home, and within 24 hours, I regretted that decision immensely. It rained for several weeks straight. I put up with it for a few days, and I ended up having to buy more rain gear, which was more expensive and actually heavier than the rain gear I had sent home. So with those kind of items, rain gear, first aid kit, your tools, your tire repair kit, these are items that you hope you never have to use, but you should always keep them with you, because if you do need them, you'll be glad you have them. So for mistake number 2, I actually have a really good friend with me that's going to help me out with this one. So Amanda from As the Magpie Flies happens to be traveling through Phoenix at the moment. So if you haven't seen her YouTube channel, definitely go check that out after you're done watching this video. She's also on Instagram. She's got an excellent Instagram page. Definitely go check that out at Blind Thistle. Anyways, here's Amanda with mistake number 2.
Mistake number 2 is that clutches don't last forever.
I can attest to that.
But for real, mistake number 2 is always try to budget twice as much as you think that you're going to spend. It doesn't always have to be cash. If you just have a credit card with at least as much room on it as you think that you're going to spend on the trip, it's an excellent emergency fund when, you find yourself stuck in Phoenix with a burnt out clutch.
Yeah, that's very true. I've definitely found myself in that situation too, needing credit cards to bail myself out.
Yeah.
Okay, hard lesson number 3 for me was not riding my own ride. This was something that took me quite a while to learn. For one, this kind of goes 2 ways, right? You could be trying to keep up with people that are maybe more skilled than you. And I've definitely been guilty of this, especially off-road when I was kind of new. I went on a little day trip with a bunch of guys, and they were just way better than I was, and I just did everything I could to keep up with them, and I ended up falling a few times and almost getting hurt, and it's just not worth it. It's just so much better to just ride your own ride, go at your own pace. And even on the other side of that, I've been with people that just want to ride a little slower, and there's nothing wrong with that. I tend to feel like a sense of responsibility when I travel with someone, especially when I'm kind of leading the pack. So I want to keep an eye on people that are behind me, but if I find myself, constantly watching my rearview mirror and adjusting my speed for someone that's behind me, number one, that becomes really dangerous and distracting, but also it takes away from my enjoyment of the trip. So it's important that everybody just kind of rides their own ride.
I've definitely been guilty of the riding outside of my comfort zone because everybody else can.
Yes.
Well, boys can. I can do it.
Yeah, I think everybody's done that at some point. So, yeah.
Mistake number 4, planning to do too many miles. If you're planning a long motorcycle trip and you want to see the sights and enjoy your trip, you shouldn't plan to do more than 150 to 200 miles in a day, depending on what your comfort zone is. Remember to take into account that you have to eat lunch, you have to eat breakfast, and if you're going to stop and see the sights, you should allot at least an hour to see that thing and experience it, and remember to take photos of it.
And that's actually a perfect segue into my 5th lesson that I learned the hard way on a road trip. And that is waiting too long in the day to find a place to sleep or camp. This is something I've done a lot because I really enjoy watching the sunset from my motorcycle. There's just something about it. To me, it just being on a bike magnifies the beauty of that experience. So it's really hard for me to break away from that and start thinking about wrapping the day up or calling it quits, when all I really want to do is just stay on the bike, and then all of a sudden it's pitch black and it's too late and I'm setting up camp in the dark. Number one, this is dangerous because I'm riding in the dark and trying to navigate an unfamiliar place in the dark with animals and everything else, but also I'm setting up in the dark, which means I'm not able to really scope out my campsite, make sure that it's safe, make sure that I'm not gonna wake up in a bee's nest in the morning. I've done that.
Oh my God, really?
Yes. So there's definitely a safety aspect to it, but also there's the aspect of getting to camp and being able to enjoy the scenery there a little bit. Enjoy the sunset from your campsite, maybe while you're cooking dinner or setting up camp, or maybe you should already have camp set up at that point, but whatever it happens to be, just relaxing around a campfire and watching the sunset. So we actually have a bonus tip for you, and Amanda is going to take this one away.
Yay! Bonus tip is that you should document your trips more, whether that be photographing more and everything. Your food, the places that you're staying, and also trying to take more pictures of yourself in those places. It's going to mean more to yourself later to have you in that place than just the picture of your bike. But in the same vein, if you journal your trip, that's going to mean more to yourself later. That makes sense, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely. So yeah, journaling is something I've talked a bit about in other videos, and it's so important because so many things just don't quite get their footing in your memory before you're onto something else new and exciting. And as far as taking pictures, what I've learned the hard way is that I'll come home from a big trip with a couple hundred pictures of my bike in front of pretty scenery, and no pictures of myself or my face or any of that. The world we live in now is, people are so used to people taking selfies that, like, it's not really that silly anymore. So don't be afraid to, stick your arm out and get some pictures of yourself smiling on your trip, because you will definitely appreciate it later on.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks, Tim, for letting me be in his video, and make sure that you guys hit that like and subscribe button. And if you have a thing that you learned the hard way, make sure that you leave that down in the comments down below.
Thank you, yes, and thank you, Amanda, for stopping by when you were in town. Guys, definitely go check out As the Magpie Flies, her YouTube channel and her Instagram page. She's got a lot of great content. She does a lot of cool trips. Definitely go check her out. Anyways, thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.
Yay!
Traveling on a motorcycle. I'm gonna do this several times. So.
That is okay. I told you how long it takes me to record, dude. Like, you got nothing on me.
Do you use Adobe?
Yeah.
Do you ever use that adaptive wind reduction? Yeah.
No.
It helps a
like
little
an
bit.
Audio thing?
Yeah, it's an audio effect, and it'll help a little bit.
Oh. Yeah. I mean, to put it in perspective, I only learned about warp stabilizer like a year ago.
Mm. Yeah, it'll be fine.
That's what editing is for.
Yep. I'm an excellent editor. I cut out so much.
I'm putting a lot of trust in you right
yes. now. Also, she's on Instagram. Excellent Instagram page. Sorry.
Yay!
So, you've made some mistakes, right? Maybe recently?
Maybe recently? Mistake number 2, is that what this is?
Yep.
Okay. But for real, always budget twice as much as you think that you're going to spend. I'm still looking at my face and not the lens. So
I was doing the same thing. Start over.
And you don't necessarily have to have that money in cash, but having a dedicated credit card with at least as much as you budgeted for the trip, like left in room on it. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Now you see what? It takes me an hour and a half.
Yep. Take your time. It's all good. I feel like there's going to be a lot of wind noise.
I mean, it shouldn't be too bad with the muff.
Usually if I could see it moving, that's not a good sign.
That's not a good sign. Do you have to battle wind noise like all the time? Oh my god, this just sucks so much.
Yeah, that's the worst part about filming like out and about like this. Like, oh my god, especially in the desert, it gets so windy.
You're gonna get so excited when you get to film in the BMW.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All those trees to block the wind.
Yeah.
It's gonna be great. I usually move around a little bit more than this.
Okay.
Let's do like a walk up to the camera or something like that. Damn, I'm sorry.
You double checked it. It's recording.
It's recording now. So it's recording. This one isn't the
Mistake number 4. Planning too many miles. Planning to do too many miles. You have to. Okay.
And that's actually a great segue to my 5th.
Okay, do it again, but come closer in the frame. You're like half cut off. There you go.
Is this 5th?
5th.
Okay.
Yes.
And that's actually a great segue into the 5th hard lesson of motorcycle travel. And that was waiting too long to find a place to sleep or camp. That thing's just gonna just go right over.
It's gonna fall over.
This is something I've done quite a bit because I really enjoy watching the sunset from. There's no way that's not gonna sound like shit. Let's
You want me to be in it? You just want to be in it.
I guess I'll just do it.
I haven't camped enthusiast, but I have dumped my bike over because I hit a rock I couldn't see.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah. And there's also the fact that when it's windy, I'm scared that one's gonna fall over.
Yeah.
When I was on the pilgrimage, I was on top of this mountain in central Montana called Judas Peak. I think we talked about this.
Yes.
And it's cursed. And I set up my tripod to take like a time lapse while I was like pulling everything off the bike so I could pick the bike up for the 3rd time.
Nice.
And put it all back on, and like halfway through the time lapse, the camera just smashed over. Like there's like a big old before I damaged the 5100, but like there was like half of the screen was all cracked. It was bad.
Yeah.
It's bad. Bonus tip: get a good tripod.
Yeah, that should be the tip, right?
Yes.
Okay. Ready?
No. I feel sorry for you in editing. You're gonna have to cut out all of my laughing. I'm sorry.
It'll make a great little like outro.
There we go. I'm glad I could provide something. That's good. Is it like bonus tip? Document your trip somehow.
Yeah. How about I'll say there's a bonus tip.
Okay.
Okay. So we actually have a bonus tip for you,
Move
and
this way in the frame. There we go.
anything else?
No,
As
I
that
think
blows
that's
over?
I think that's good. Yeah.
Okay.
Yay!
Do you want to do the outro?
Oh, how do you do your outro? Make sure you hit that like and the subscribe button. I can't say subscribe. That's a bad word. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks Tim for having me in his video. Make sure that you guys hit that like and subscribe button. And if you have a thing that you learned the hard way, make sure that you leave it in the comments down below.
Excellent, and definitely go subscribe to As the Magpie Flies. Okay.
Maybe. Stay put. Stay there. Okay. Okay. I can do this again. Totally.
Is it recording?
I think so.
Yep.
Yes.